Welcome back. I hope you had a good time and you're seated and waiting because, like I said, my guest is a mental health advocate and a tech enthusiast. Don't tell her I said so because she's trying to hide it. My guest today is Lois Onwood.
Hi.
You're very much welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Like I said, your hair, I can't help it. I feel like just touching it. You have a contagious smile, so you're making me smile already.
Thank you.
How have you been?
I'm alright.
You're welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Lois, I hope I'm not bugging too much, but I have to go straight to the point. Initially, I heard you have bipolar disorder.
I do. I live with bipolar disorder.
Oh my God, I love that. I love the strongness. Like I'm feeling the advocacy here already.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little about yourself and the disorder, please?
Sure. So, in 2019, on a cold January morning, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. At the time, they said it was manic depression, but later I got to know that it is more currently known as bipolar disorder. So let me give you a history, some history. Let's go back memory lane. When I was 19, I knew that I needed to speak to someone about my thoughts, my emotions, but I didn't have the chance to. So it'll take me another 10 years to speak to a therapist, yes, to a psychologist. And it was because I had a nervous breakdown in December of 2018, the year before. That was why I sought help, you know. So coming to be diagnosed with bipolar was a shock, at the same time a pleasant surprise. At the same time, how do I put it? It was a yes to what I already knew was wrong with me. Do you understand?
Yeah, like you always felt you were different, but you just couldn't place your hands on it.
Yes,
I get that feeling.
Yes. So, but the person that diagnosed me was quite nice, and she left me with a statement that I'll call an epiphany of sorts. She said, "Your life is in your hands. Only you decide what your life becomes or pans out to be."
Yeah.
So from that moment, I decided I was going to take my life and my emotions in my hands. And so I ravaged the internet. I read everything on mental health, on bipolar, on emotions, on thoughts, on feelings, everything. I read everything. And then I began to take some courses, you know, to understand myself better.
Yeah.
Because I'm high flying, I'm smart, and as you can see, I'm beautiful.
Yes,
right?
you're beautiful. Everyone have a contagious smile. Again, I keep saying it.
Thank you. So it felt like, why would someone that looks this packaged have this kind of challenge?
Yeah.
You know, so I was determined to get to the root of it. So those courses and my coaches have helped me to be where I am today, where I can help other people to think and feel better about themselves the way others have helped me.
Okay. So in what year were you diagnosed?
2019.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So again, Nigerians are always my mental health. Like I feel like we're beginning to abuse that word and all of that, and a lot of people don't even know what that mental health is. What would you say is mental health in Nigerian terms?
I'd like to say what mental health is on itself, or in itself. It is simply the way you think and feel
About something.
about yourself and how you respond to situations. So your body and your mind are connected. And from childhood, all the emotions you've ever felt have left a mark in your body. So sometimes you respond to situations without having to think. It is those stored emotions, those stored feelings in your body that now propel you to such actions. So mental health really is just how your body and mind work together to give you a desired or undesired result.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, is there a difference between mental illness and mental health?
Yeah, it's like saying physical health and physical illness. So of course, the difference.
Okay.
So physical health is how your body works, right? How your body works. Then illness is when there's a dent in that working of your body.
Yeah.
So in the same way, too, when there's a dent, when there's something wrong with the way you think and the way you feel and the way you express your thoughts and feelings, that means you're mentally ill. But it's not psychosis. It's not being half clad on the road.
Yeah.
It's not when you're literally mad that you're ill in your mind. Do you understand?
Yeah.
That's one thing I want Nigerians to understand. That mental illness is not going on the streets half clad or naked. That's not what it is.
Please increase the volume. I think we need to know more. Please. Don't tell them. Nigerians need to hear this, please.
Nigerians, please do not confuse mental illness with psychosis. It's not what it is. Thank you. Anyway, so if I feel sad, if I feel depressed, that means I'm withdrawing from the things I used to enjoy before. I worry more than I used to before.
Yeah.
Fear controls everything I say and do. I express anger unhealthily. I am mentally ill.
That's true.
So I mustn't be half-clad or naked before it to be that I'm mentally ill. So all of us at some point in our lives have mental illness.
No, the here too said we have 1 minute craziness.
That's the truth. All of us fall ill in the way we think and feel, and it is okay. I think that's what I want people to get to understand. It is okay to be sick in the head. Really, it's okay. It's like having malaria. If I have COVID now or malaria, and I tell you, oh, I'm having headache, I have malaria, you feel sorry for me.
Of course.
Yeah, you will help me. Okay, go and take paracetamol, go and take whatever. So it is the same way with our thoughts. It's our mind, with our feelings. It can be sick or they can be sick. So we shouldn't stigmatize people who say, I don't feel like cooking or bathing or doing something that before I used to do and enjoy. We shouldn't castigate them and say, I beg you, be fine. It's not a beggy. Seek help, right? Seek help, speak to someone. Yeah.
Okay. Well, a little reminder, you're watching us on Global TV, channel 276 on Star Time, and you're watching the program Health Guide. And we're talking about mental health. Again, you've been listening and watching and hearing mental health. Thank you. So, Lois, are there particular types of mental health? Like, is it that mental health doesn't have categories or something? Or once I just say I'm having mental health, it means I'm not okay or anything? Are there types of mental health?
There are several kinds, and each day we find new ones. Yeah, but there are very common ones. For instance, bipolar disorder is quite common. In fact, more common than you think, especially in Nigeria. Then post-traumatic stress disorder, right? That happens with persons who have experienced some kind of traumatic event.
Yeah.
So anything can traumatize anybody. That means more people have PTSD than they think. Then the persons that have had children, maybe a first child or a second child, especially their first kids, because the body undergoes changes. So it can affect their mind, how they think. And then there are also some disorders that have to do with the personality. So you have dysmophobia, I hope I'm saying it right, but I said the wrong thing.
You're right.
Anyway, and then there's borderline personality disorder. Right. So this one has to do with instability in moods and behavior and how you treat people and yourself. So there are several kinds.
Yeah. I don't mean to cut you, but I think Nigerians need to hear this. Is anger part of mental health? Like anger. I think Nigerians have a lot of issues with anger and how they express their anger.
I think anger is an emotion. It's like happiness. It's like joy. It's just an emotion that you find in yourself as a human. And if we say it is part of a mental illness, right, you might be right, but in itself is not a mental illness. Do you understand? It is just part of a mental illness, especially as in how it is being expressed.
Yeah.
So when you have this intense displeasure over something, over yourself, or over a situation, that is anger. Now, everybody has intense feelings about things, but we are not armed with the skills to know how to express them, how to respond to that situation. So take for instance, as I was coming here, the guy that brought me was driving and talking, and then I think he didn't know that somebody hit us. Or was behind, and he hit us. So as he heard the bomb, everybody was, what was that, And so he got down. I went to speak to the guy. I was on the phone anyway, so I wasn't hearing that conversation. But after he came in, you could see that he was agitated. So apparently they exchanged some words.
Yeah, so almost as if you already have anger built in, and he just needed an avenue to express it.
Yes. So having the skills to express anger is what puts you on the path of emotional intelligence, emotional wellness, which is also part of mental health, not mental illness, mental health, right? So I tell people, when you begin to feel anger build up, the first thing you can do, I call it mental health first aid. The first thing you can do is to begin to breathe. Take deep breaths. So you breathe in and out. You breathe in and out. What that is saying to your brain is that, okay, this is not a situation that will kill me.
Yes.
Because once you feel angry, you're sending signals to your brain that this is a fight or flight situation. So your brain's job is to pump hormones that will make you control the situation, and before you know it, you begin to maybe shake.
Kind of adrenaline rush.
Thank you, adrenaline rush.
You're making me feel like the real science student vibe.
So you have to tell your brain, no, we ain't flying nowhere. We ain't fighting nobody. So calm down. And so you have to use the breathing technique to calm yourself down. So once you make that a habit, you're able to express anger in the way that later you not even regret.
You won't even like the consequences and all of that. Okay, now, Lois, how do you think Nigerians behave or accept or relate with people with mental health, especially bipolar disorder? Do you feel they're on the good side or on the negative side? I don't want to use bad side, but then Nigerians.
We can do better. That's true. We can do better with the way we treat people who have mental health challenges.
Okay. Did you experience any discrimination or anything like that?
Yeah, before we came live, I was sharing a story with you, and it's rather a sad one, but at the same time it was an eye-opener for me. And it helps me, it put me on the realist side of this situation, right? Because I was in that euphoria of, I know my onions, it doesn't matter what you think about me.
Yeah.
And then when this happened to me, just burst that bubble. Right? God. But it was a learning curve, and I'm grateful that I passed through that. What happened? I was going out with this really nice guy, and then we're really going on well, having fun, enjoying ourselves. And he tells me that his mentor apparently does not like the fact that I'm on prescription medication for bipolar.
Who does that?
They do that.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a shock, because before then, all the guys I've dated didn't mind.
Yeah.
They were okay with it, because there was so much more to love to me than just
I'm really loving you.
Right? I'm loving myself more. Anyway, so when he said his goodbye, I was hot. But I came to realize that it is a way of telling me that if this can happen to me,
it can happen to
anybody. And the moment we begin to accept that, if we love people as they are, we too can love ourselves. As in, it means that we too love ourselves as we are.
Yeah.
So if you are saying no to somebody because they have issues with their mental health, that means you're saying no to yourself.
Exactly.
Really, if you have an issue somewhere, maybe physically or mentally too. So Nigerians.
Do you think it's treatable?
What is treatable?
The bipolar.
It is. I have episodes once in a while. Before now, it was more regular. Almost every day, I'm having a mood swing or something is happening to me. But when I began this journey, and then with the meds too, those episodes have gone really low. Sometimes once in a year or twice in a year, which is a very huge improvement.
Okay, lastly, is there anything you want to tell Nigerians about this order?
Okay. I like to tell Nigerians one very important rule of the mind. There are 5 rules, but there's one. This one is the mind responds to the words you use and the pictures that you paint. So when you use healthier, more positive words, and when you paint better pictures, your life will turn out to be even much more than you thought it's going to be. And I want Nigerians to remember that we are enough, you are enough, I am enough, and there is no health without mental health.
Well, that's it. You've been watching us on Global TV, and I don't know why, I just never get tired of seeing that. Global TV, channel 276 on Star Time, and we have been talking to the beautiful Lois Nwobodo. We've come to the end of the program. If you enjoyed watching us, please join us same time next week. Well, remember, you can follow us on all our social media platforms on Global TV NG. I remain your host, Fauziya Lukman. See you again next time. Bye.